Hey YouTube, it's Cash. So this episode we're going to talk about my circuit bent REMCO FX sound machine. And you're probably wondering, what does this have anything to do with optical choppers? And you'll see that shortly. I looked online, I didn't see very many videos about any kind of circuit bending with these. And I thought it would be appropriate to kind of dedicate an entire episode just to this, as well as this was inspired by, the various experiments that I'm doing with my optical choppers right now. I'm going to go over the bends in this, and you're going to hear it. This was in really rough shape when I got it. I think somebody spilled juice inside or something. It was bad, and it's broken, and it's probably still kind of broken. But I did the best I could. I took the board out and I scrubbed it with a toothbrush with rubbing alcohol, and went through all the pots with cleaner and everything, and it works pretty well and kind of functions sort of like it should. but these bends are meant to be used in a specific way, and I'll kind of explain that. So the one-shot section here still works, but it's not meant to be used with these bends. It doesn't really work with them. So I have that completely off during this. And this mixer section, I have the A on, the B off, and the C off, and I pretty much leave that the way it is through the whole thing. This knob here, which is supposed to be, I think, a volume knob or something, doesn't really work quite right. So I actually made it part of a bend because the pot worked fine, or the potentiometer. So there's a switch here that switches between this control and this control here, and it has an off position. So when I switch it up, it's here. Switch it all the way down, it's here. And I also did a bend where this is like a noise glitch here, or noise effect. The potentiometer that I used for here is kind of like something I grabbed out of my parts box. So I don't really know the value of this one. I think it's 1 meg, but I'm not sure. It has a capacitor and a resistor. It was probably used for like a guitar. But I like doing stuff like that, like testing out different things, like older potentiometers when I circuit bend and stuff, because sometimes these results are unique. And actually, I didn't have another one that sounded like this one. So in this particular bend, so it worked out really well. So I'm going to give you a little bit of taste of just what that part of this does. So really, it's just basically this guy and this effect here. And this is on all the time, so I'll kind of play with that. So here's a taste of that. I thought it would be important to show schematics of this, or a diagram or something like that. So here's a snapshot of that. I'll leave it on the screen here for a little bit so that you can pause it and kind of get an idea. I put the values in there and that sort of thing. It's a very simple bend. It's not very complicated. This thing sounds pretty weird to start with, so I didn't really have to do a lot to kind of get some cool effects. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. That leaves this last guy here, which this is basically like a voltage starving bend. I have an on and off switch here, which locks so it's not on all the time, because otherwise it can probably wear this out. It's wired to the ground, but still, you don't want to leave it on all the time. So I have the ability to turn it off, so it kind of bypasses it. And that does some really cool things, because you can really dial it down. This will give you an idea now of what I'm doing now. Now these bolts here, I can wire them into the optical chopper, which is what the whole inspiration of this thing is. And here's a taste of that.